My next guest has been with us from the beginning. I think we both kind of started our respective journeys possibly around the same time, but he has joined us each year for our Youth Entrepreneur Month, in which we recognize young people who have started their own business or thinking about starting their own business. He has gone, and I won't steal his thunder because some of you are listening, and this is the very first time that you've had the opportunity to listen to him. So I'll let him share. But he has gone basically from a wagon, I believe, I know Bo will correct me, to a brick and mortar. And just a remarkable, remarkable journey. He's back with us to share with us a bit of that journey and also to share with us some of the latest events that are not so pleasant. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our resident youth entrepreneur, Beau Shell, the little ice cream dude. How are you, Bo?
I'm doing good, Miss Paula. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Always, always. It is well deserved. It is well deserved. How are you and the family holding up amidst this
I think we're doing,
whole?
yes, ma'am. I think we're doing very nice. And I think we're moving better than we were definitely during last week.
Okay, so do me a favor because we do have some new listeners that are not familiar with who you are. Can we give them a couple of minutes, just a quick um, oversight. I can't think tonight. Just a quick background of how you started, when you started, and what brought you up to actually opening your own brick and mortar. Because how old are you now? I should know this. 15, 16.
15.
15.
I'm a sophomore in high school too, so
Oh my
that's
God,
kind of around
6 years.
where my age is. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I guess to give a quick synopsis, I have been working since I was 8 years old, and I started my business in 2012. It was first called the Little Ice Cream Dude, and it started when I asked my parents for an ice cream cart for a birthday present. Instead of a regular birthday party or some toys, I wanted them to spend money to get me an ice cream cart. And so I started off with a very small push cart that wasn't even a push cart before. It had been, you could say, transformed into one. But I've been working ever since. Around 2014, after that 2012 start, I got the popsicle, which is a trailer that really widened as much as I could the ways I could sell my ice cream. And then I've been working ever since then. Around 2017, I kind of started to focus my sights on scaling up, and I wanted to grow up into a big store, you could say. But I've been really, for a while at that time, been wanting to have a brick and mortar or a solid location, whatever you want to call it, for my ice cream. And I want to use it as what I'm using now, a base to really increase more income and revenue more than ever, and try to start a bigger, better company of what I started. And so that's Cool World. And so to explain, in 2017, I was able to, I'm sorry, I'm a little short-winded right now, but
right.
I started a crowdfunding campaign from November 2017 to the end of the year. And so I was able to raise $21,000 with the help of my community to put more fund and startup cash towards the shop. And so all 2018 figured out how we were going to really go about remodeling the shop and molding it into what the shop is today. And it took a little bit over a year, but in 2019, we were able to open the shop. And so that's kind of a quick flashback of what's happened. But one thing I would like to importantly highlight is that most things that I were able to scale up or even get a lot of times was by the community and people who wanted to support me throughout my whole journey. Every single time they could have gone to someone else, but they decided to help me, and they decided to spend their money on me and put their hopes in me. So I think it's important that all my community, and I think my community is just as wide as the city I live in, as much as the country I live in and the world I live in too. So a lot of people
and
from
it's testimony to, people have watched you over the years, so it's testimony to your commitment. Had the honor of being at that grand opening, and it was such a wonderful, emotional event to really truly see a dream come true. So it really just speaks to the character of who you are as a young man, like you said, with the community coming together and supporting you and assisting you and making this dream come true. So thank you so much for that synopsis and bringing our new listeners up to speed. Share with us what occurred, and I know you've probably shared it, 1,000 times since. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing again. But let us know what occurred last week.
Last week, to basically say, my shop was broken into, and someone I think that was desperate enough, who was really down on themselves, I guess you could say, was
Mhm.
able to just steal only cash, but they also indirectly damaged my assets of ice cream and my equipment because of being there. And so we found
Yes.
that there were a couple of open coolers and of ice cream, like in the actual ice cream cabinet. So we had to make a real decision whether or not to keep the ice cream or not. And so I decided that I really wanted to make sure that everyone was safe, because we don't know if that person could have damaged the ice cream. They could have scooped their finger and they could have done something to
Mhm.
it. And so I know
Right.
that if I want not to eat it, or if I want my family to eat it, I definitely want my customers to eat it. So we had to indirectly, because of that person being there without us being on site really, we had to throw away all that ice cream. And we also had to really, I guess you could say we were a little discouraged because someone wanted to hurt us, especially at this time. And I
Yeah.
know that I'm not really, my business isn't the best right now. There's a couple local businesses right now that have also been robbed. So we know that it wasn't just us, but still it
Mhm.
doesn't feel good at all.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And you had to make a huge business decision, and like you said, throwing away a lot of your, discarding a lot of your product in the interest and safety of the community, which meant you then had to incur the expense of replacing the product along with equipment as well. So that was a huge decision, but a mature decision to make as a businessman. Also, in the process of this law, something very sentimental to you was taken as well, and a lot of times I don't think people realize, there's value in sentimental items because they represent so much.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
represent so much. And share with us what that is.
So during the break-in, uh, the robber, for some reason I don't know, had set
Mhm.
their sights on the tip jar that we've had, and I've had that tip jar just about as long as I can remember. I think 2013 was when we got it, but
Mhm.
my cousins had, we took a old, it's literally a water jug that we remodeled or reused for a tip
Mhm.
jar, and so my cousins, they had taken time to write tips, and put very nice decorations on it, and I've been using it ever since. And so they took their time to do that, and at that time when the robber went in, we remember there being about $8 in the tip jar, and so
Mhm.
it really means a lot to us. And I think even though there may have been $8 in that jar, it's still priceless. And so it's it's been to the point where some people had even offered us to really do tip jar search parties. And so they said, we want
Mhm.
to, if we don't care about anything else, but just give us the tip jar back and we'll be fine, because I think it's really, that's how priceless it is, and that's how far it's really come with me on my journey. And so
Mhm.
me personally, I don't think that there was a really need to really take the tip jar, and
Take the jar.
I can imagine that the person wouldn't understand, and I also could really only imagine they really didn't look around themselves when they were entering the shop, because there's so much of my story and so much of what I've tried to build with my community. I guess they didn't
Mhm.
understand.
Right. Right. Wow. So where are you now as far as, are you reopened? Two questions. Are you reopened, and what do you still need?
So I'm happy to report to you, Miss uh, Paula, that I've
Mhm.
actually been able to bounce back with the help of my community. And so
Mhm.
the reason why I said earlier that we're doing better than we were last week is because my community really came to rescue me. Uh, Online, I had posted about what happened because I wanted to tell my community and everyone who supports me on Instagram. I posted an Instagram TV video talking about what happened, and so I guess you'd say what had mostly started a real campaign to really help me
Mhm.
get all that was lost back was a school organization that's at my local high school, and so they wanted to support me, and they challenged some of my high school peers to donate some, and it kind of started more after that, and people started talking about it and telling people that my shop got broken into, and so my community really came to my rescue, and a lot of
Mhm.
people really showed that they were supportive of me, and I think it really helped me know that once again, it's not just me, it's my community too, and
Yeah.
that also means that it's a community shop, and so that's what really came down to.
Excellent. Excellent. And I understand too. I believe I saw where you had posted on social media that you were in need of a security system.
Yes, ma'am. Oh. To explain that, the real reason that the shop was able to be broken into so unfortunately was because we
Mhm.
didn't have as much security as we need, and even a simple security system would have, I think, deterred the robber, the person,
Right.
and suspect. But with the help of my community, I was able to raise $3,000, and so even though we're doing curbside delivery service and we're trying to stay out the way, in
Mhm.
Georgia, I think they have put a shelter in place, so no more, I guess you could say, of my ice cream business, but only I think 4 different kind of places you can go outside of your house, and so we're gonna have to come inside. But it's gonna be in place on Friday, I think. But other than that, what I wanted to say was that I think now, especially with the help of my community, we'll be able to
Mhm.
be safe because we know that we have a security system, and so we think that we are a little more prepared this time around. And so I'm happy to say
Okay.
that. A
So
lot of confidence.
you're saying as of Friday, because I wasn't quite sure where you were with that, but you're saying as of Friday there should be a security system in place.
No, as of Friday, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you lost. Uh, I meant on Thursday in Georgia, the governor will announce the shelter in place, and then on Friday it'll
Oh,
be inspected by Georgia State Troopers. But today
okay.
we have our security system up.
You do have it up.
We put up
Okay.
today. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Because we do, and I will. I'm going to share this with you as well because I put all this out on blast, and we have a listener, and his name is Freddie Smith. I'm going to send this information to your mother, but he is also in the business of security and cable television or telephone, one of the two. But he's also offering to assist you in that area if you have additional needs or further needs in that area as well. He's looking to for some assistance. So I'm going to send that information over to you all as well, so that you will have that. Whether
Thank
you
you so much.
need it immediately, or you need it in the future, or perhaps in addition to what you have. But he's willing. He's listening now, and he's willing to assist you. And again, his name is Mr. Freddie Smith. We want to give him a shout out
Thank you very
for
much.
stepping up to the call, because I think I put a post out and it just simply said, this is our Beau Shell and he needs a security system. And Mr. Smith answered the call. So we just want to give him a shout out and we want to thank him so much. And again, he's offering services for a security system and the free cable to go along with it. But I will give you that information and you all can discuss that. So, Mr. Smith, if you're listening, Freddie Smith, thank you so very much. You have no
Thank
idea,
you
this
very
young
much,
man.
Mr. Smith.
This is, you have no idea. This young man is just amazing and just very, very appreciative.